Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhoundial. By the time the dead are counted after IRIS Dena was torpedoed by the Americans in India's backyard, that number will be touching about 150. 87 are dead, 61 are missing, and the chances of picking up any survivors is now next to impossible. The Iranians have spoken to the Sri Lankans to send the bodies of their dead back home. But back home in India, a major political fight has broken out over India's silence. The Congress party is calling it a surrender, a meek submission to Donald Trump, who sent his submarine to the Indian Ocean to strike a ship that was returning from an Indian naval exercise. The opposition argues that India's guest was targeted in India's backyard, and yet the government of India has not uttered a word about it. Rahul Gandhi, in fact, put out a tweet saying, and I quote, "India has a compromised PM who has surrendered our strategic autonomy." Listen in.
मेहमान निहत्था होकर आया, एक बड़ा देश अंतिम क्षण पे कहता है साहब मैं जहाज नहीं भेज रहा, मैं अपने अफसर भेज रहा हूं। अफसर आए और हमारे मेहमान को खत्म कर दिया। ये हमारा प्रभाव है, ये हमारी हैसियत है, ये हमारी औकात है। हम तो सुनते थे कि ये भारत नया भारत है, घर में घुस के मारेगा। ये क्या हो रहा है साहब? ये क्या हो रहा है? हमारे घर में, घर के आंगन में घुसकर हमारे मेहमान को मार रहे हैं। ऐसी क्या मजबूरी है कठपुतली नरेश कि वो धागे हिलाते हैं और आप नाचना शुरू कर दें? इस पूरे घटनाक्रम को लेजिटिमाइज करने के लिए थी, एक कानूनी जामा पहनाने के लिए थी, एक लोगों को कुछ और दिखाना था और अंदर कुछ और तैयारी चल रही थी इजराइल और अमेरिका की, और आप उसमें कठपुतली बन गए। अरे कोई जादू टोना करो, कुछ टोटका करो, इस व्यक्ति के सर पे एप्स्टीन का डर तो हटाओ। ये एप्स्टीन का डर हम सबके लिए भारी पड़ रहा है। जो रिसेशन आने वाला है उसकी आप कल्पना नहीं कर सकते।
It is a condemnable incident. It is totally illegal and against the international rules and everything. And India government is shamelessly still keeping silence. These people are slaves because Epstein is there. Epstein people that my American president, he is widely there, and as there is a rumor that Modi's name is there, so he is silent. They are Epstein friend, not international political friend. They are Epstein friendship.
You heard from the opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, was the Iranian ship IRIS Dena a guest of the Indian Navy when it came to participate in the Milan naval exercise? What you're seeing on your screens is the naval contingent marching down Visakhapatnam as part of the naval exercise. So were they guests here? Absolutely, they were guests here. But sources say that the exercise had ended 10 days ago before the strike. So to make India feel guilty about not stepping out and taking on the Americans over it is simply unfair. They also point out to the fact that the ship was in international waters and not Indian waters, so India cannot be really held accountable and pushed to make a statement. The Americans have said that the Iranian warship thought it was safe in international waters till, of course, the torpedo struck. But as they released the video of the kill, questions began to be raised. This is, after all, the Indian Ocean. We are the guardians of these waters. We owe the Iranians moral accountability. Now, the opposition is mounting pressure, and it was probably under this mounting pressure that after 6 days of the Ayatollah's killing, India finally stepped out to offer condolences. The Foreign Secretary of India went to the Iranian embassy in Delhi and signed in their condolence book. The opposition is calling this a token gesture and is asking why the Prime Minister has not spoken. Well, the Prime Minister has spoken, and he is calling for dialogue and diplomacy. Listen in.
Friend, भारत और फिनलैंड दोनों रूल ऑफ लॉ, डायलॉग और डिप्लोमेसी में विश्वास रखते हैं। हम एकमत है कि केवल मिलिट्री कॉन्फ्लिक्ट से किसी भी मुद्दे का समाधान नहीं निकल सकता। यूक्रेन हो या पश्चिमी एशिया, हम संघर्ष की शीघ्र समाप्ति और शांति के हर प्रयास का समर्थन करते रहेंगे। हम इस बात पर भी सहमत हैं कि बढ़ते हुए ग्लोबल चैलेंजेस के समाधान के लिए ग्लोबल इंस्टीट्यूशंस का रिफॉर्म आवश्यक ही नहीं, अर्जेंट भी है और आतंकवाद के हर रूप को जड़ से समाप्त करना हमारी साझी प्रतिबद्धता है।
Now, the Prime Minister repeated that when he spoke to the French President barely 30 minutes ago. Now, should India ditch strategic silence and speak out more loudly and clearly? Well, one view is that this is not India's war. True that. But as we speak, ladies and gentlemen, there are some 23,000 Indian sailors who are stranded near the Strait of Hormuz. 2 are dead after an attack on the oil tanker Skylight. Therefore, the big question, is India's silence then in national interest? My guest this evening, Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, joining us on the broadcast. Major General Sanjay Meston is an ex-defense attaché to Afghanistan, joining us on the broadcast. Brijesh Kalappa, I think, is running late, spokesperson of the Congress party, will be joining us in just a bit. And Major General Dr. Yash Moore is a retired defense analyst, joining us on the broadcast. He's retired from the army, now an analyst. Thank you very much. Sanju Verma, I am going to start with you first. You've seen the rather elaborate press conference that the Congress party has done today. You've also seen the tweet that Rahul Gandhi has put out. They are saying the Prime Minister is compromised. After all, what is that compelling reason? What is that compelling reason that a leader of a sovereign nation is taken out, killed at his own home by the Americans and the Israelis, and the Indians say nothing? Fine. Then what happens is that you have an Iranian ship that was a guest of India, who was here at the invitation of the Indian Navy, is torpedoed in the Indian Ocean. And again, India is not saying anything. Where is this compulsion to keep quiet, Sanju Verma, is what the opposition is asking.
Shreya, I heard you, and you have to give me my time to put forth my views. First and foremost, be it Rahul Gandhi, Pawan Khera, Jairam Ramesh, Supriya Srinath, Mallikarjun Kharge, their understanding of statecraft, their understanding of the nuances of foreign policy, the less said, the better. The first point I want to make is silence does not mean India has not picked a side. Silence often is a leverage. Silence is a great form of statecraft in turbulent geopolitical times such as these. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has spoken to his counterparts in France. He's spoken to the King of Bahrain, Jordan, his counterparts in Saudi Arabia, in Kuwait, in Oman. He's spoken to Benjamin Netanyahu. And the limited point I want to make is this. Is this India's war? No. What US chooses to do, that is US's lookout. But is India a mute? Can I finish? Is India a mute spectator? No. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has repeatedly stressed on 4 things, which are the hallmarks of our foreign policy. D, 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 C. D for dialogue, D for diplomacy, D for de-escalation, and C for a calibrated response. And my final point is this, wait. For everybody out there, including Rahul Gandhi and their entire Darbari ecosystem, who are saying, oh, why has Prime Minister Narendra Modi not stood in solidarity with Iran? In September 2005, in February 2006, and in November 2009, under the erstwhile Congress regime of Manmohan Singh, India had actually taken a stand against Iran at the IAEA. 1 minute, Shreya.
Sanju Verma, can we get back to the ship? Please
yes,
tell me if this ship was a guest of India or not, in your view, and whether India should speak after it has been torpedoed by the Americans in the Indian Ocean. It was not in our waters, it was in international waters, but this is called the Indian Ocean for a reason, right?
Can I come in now, Shreya? You made that point. The problem is you made a long lengthy, a question that you wanted to get an answer from me for. You have to now show some patience. I will come to your question. I've not forgotten anything. Indian Ocean does not mean Indian waters. Let's be very clear. Just like Arabian. 1 minute, Shreya, please hold on for 30 seconds. This ship, the Iranian ship, left Indian waters, left Visakhapatnam more than 10 days back. Indian waters, the jurisdiction is 12 nautical miles. When the Iranian ship was torpedoed by the Americans, it was 240 nautical miles away from Indian waters. So Rahul Gandhi, first understand the difference between Indian waters and Indian Ocean, between Arabian Ocean, Arabian Sea,
Kalappa,
and
I believe you're through
waters.
with us. You've heard Sanju Verma. Now please respond. What Sanju is saying is what the BJP is largely what government sources are also saying. They are saying, in case you missed out, let me quickly recap what she's saying, essentially to say that the Milan exercise ended some 10 days ago, right? And the ship was on its way home. It was absolutely nowhere close to Indian waters. Yes, it was in the Indian Ocean, but it was not in Indian waters. It was in international waters, and therefore it was open game. अब वो लोग अमेरिकन्स के साथ जूझे, हमें क्या मतलब इससे? That is the point that the BJP is making.
See, first thing is, Shreya, that this ship was actually intended to come to India, and it was only for these military exercises that they were coming to India.
No,
And
sir, they were going back. 1 minute, Mr.
India.
Kalappa, get your facts right. The exercise got over and this ship was ostensibly on its way back to Iran. Please carry on.
No, please listen to me, Shreya. I said it had come to India. It was the intent, the destination was India, and it was on its way back. You kindly don't stop me while I'm speaking, right? So this is the first part. And we always believe that Atithi Devo Bhava. Here our officers have worked with those officers on that frigate. They have conducted military exercises, and they have spent nearly a week together. Some of them have bonded very well, right? All I'm asking, after such a deep-rooted exercise, they are on their way back, and that has been torpedoed. The least one can do, after having said Atithi Devo Bhava, and we are somebody who believes in the Taittiriya Upanishad, which speaks of Atithi Devo Bhava, can we not even express some condolence? Can we not express regret over their passing? Is it just another event for us? What has happened to the grandeur of Indian culture?
Yeah, very quickly, but don't take too much time. 1 minute. You have asked, can India not even condone their death? Let's ask Sanju Verma that. Sanju, please go ahead.
Thank you, Shreya. I'm glad the Congress spokesperson made that point. Today, these people who don't know the difference between Indian waters and international waters want us to condemn. But Shreya, just 1 second. In 20 seconds, I will say this to you. Between 2004 and 2014, when Manmohan Singh and Sonia Gandhi's kitchen cabinet was in power, 85 Indian fishermen were killed in Sri Lankan waters, 180 were injured, and 746 fishermen were apprehended. And what did Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh say? They said, ये fishermen हमारे जो है ना, ये श्रीलंकन waters में capture हुए हैं. This is not our business to interfere in. You could not stand with our own fishermen, and today you have the audacity to lecture about a ship which was attacked.
Sanju Verma, what is the problem in offering condolences for the 150 Iranian soldiers who have died in an American torpedo attack after they were returning from an Indian exercise? Please help me understand that.
Shreya Dhoundial, with no offense to you and the other gentlemen on this panel, including retired army personnel, who I think understand this issue much better than you and me, the Modi government knows what it is doing.
Okay.
Please stop second-guessing Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He understands diplomacy far better than Rahul Gandhi and his acolytes ever will. सात जन्म भी ले लेंगे तो foreign policy इनके समझ नहीं आएगी. Don't second-guess the government.
ठीक है, लेकिन the point is, कल तक you didn't want to say anything about Ayatollah Khomeini's killing, saying that why are we being pressurized to speak? Because, when Gaddafi died, the Congress government didn't offer condolences, and today that is exactly what you have done. The foreign secretary has gone and signed on to the condolence book. So, I mean, anyway, let's just get in the army officers here.
If you do,
General Moore, Sanju is making a solid point as well. Sanju says the government knows what it is doing. These are difficult times. Let them do their job. Don't unnecessarily pressurize them. Is that a fair ask?
Shreya, firstly, this bringing down of sinking of Dana is a very, very tragic event. You know the tragedy, firstly, a ship which has come for ceremonial duties, they must have, as you said, bonded with us, exchanged gifts with us. They marched on the streets of Visakhapatnam. They saluted the President of India. The naval chief was here. And the pictures that Indian Navy was tweeting and MEA was retweeting, we were all very good till few days back with Iran taking part. We must have requested them so many times कि please आ जाओ IFR में, फिर मिलन में and Navy Chiefs conclave के अंदर. So first is that part. Secondly, it's just few days they have left. And when a ship or a military contingent comes for a military exercise or ceremonial duties, they don't carry their wherewithal everything. They just carry enough ammunition for some demonstration, some firing. They are not prepared for combat at all. It's true for army when we go for military exercise. It's true for Navy and Air Force. I'm sure we don't carry everything when we go for. And thirdly, the major issue is ethical and human issue. The US, which has got the strongest Navy in the world, they can destroy the entire world Navy if they want to fight them. Even then they did this such a Hindi शब्द आ रहा but English में बता नहीं सकता आपको इतनी ओछी हरकत to take on a ship, destroy a ship. When you're such a strong Navy, you could have declared, okay, next few days, any ship is a target for us. We have been doing this. We did this in Kargil also. We declared sea lines of, no-go zones. Any ship
But
here.
General Moore, they are
somewhere I think.
General Moore, but they are in the middle of a war.
I know.
Why should they give away their element of surprise? If the Iranian ship is in international waters, it is open game. Why should India be held morally responsible is a point that the BJP is making.
I'm not getting into the political debate at all. I want to stay totally clear of it. I'm talking of military ethics and human values. And US as a military power. This ship would never have been here. They would have been exercising in Bandra Pass. वो यहाँ पर इसीलिए आए ना क्योंकि इंडिया ने invite किया था. They got shot. The whole life, their children, their mothers will say our sailors got killed because they were invited to India and they got waylaid in between this. So somewhere, technically, US is right. It's a war. You can destroy anything. They're a big nation. But on human angle, ethics angle, and military to military, I think this is a very, very poor show on part of US Navy. And as military, I would like to condemn this and pay my condolences to the Navy sailors who were our guests few days back on
Major
this.
Meston, I don't think anyone here in India is arguing that India is responsible for the Americans slipping into the Indian Ocean, putting in their submarines and then launching a torpedo targeting an Iranian ship. I don't think anyone is blaming India for that or holding India accountable for that. The question, Major General, being raised is simply this. We can't even offer our condolences to the 150 sailors who have died in this attack, who barely 10 days ago were in Visakhapatnam as our guests, participating in the Milan exercise. हम इतना भी नहीं कर सकते क्या?
Shreya.
You have asked General Moore or me?
No, sir. General Meston, this question was for you. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. Now, give me some time and I will give certain ground realities.
ठीक.
Accepted ground realities are, firstly, this is a standard operating procedure that we hold this exercise Milan, and we invite the Navy of many countries in the world. This time, 70 countries were almost invited. 70 countries participated. There were total 40 ships. Iranians also came. Yes, we have invited and they have accepted our invitation. But not only that, the American ship was also here. They have also accepted the invitation. Moral responsibility of India is that they are our guests, very rightly pointed out by all the panelists, but they are our guests till the day the exercise was on and when it terminates. Once it has moved out from Indian territorial waters, which is 12 nautical miles, we have done our duty and discharged our responsibilities. Now, coming on to certain facts. Yes, there is an ongoing war. It is not the responsibility of Indian Navy or the government of India, and I'm making a very statement. It is a responsibility of the Iranian Republican the Navy, their revolutionary Navy and the Iranian leadership, they are well aware it is a single ship. Tactically, no ship in war, it's a war. Anyone can strike. And it is between two nations, and of course the third nation is Israel. Two nations are on one side and there's another nation. Whose moral responsibility lies in sending a ship alone, unescorted?
Major General, the ship came before the war started. The Milan exercise, remember, commenced before the war started.
You're right. Let me complete my statement. My statement is very clear. Once it has left the territorial waters, why should it go back? What were the options to the Iranian Navy? Now let me tell you. This is what you have to understand. The options for the Iranian Navy are, it's a war zone. There is no definition that Indian Ocean mein war nahi hoga. Now it is a war zone. The option for that naval ship was, and I'm quite sure they would have done, they would have spoken to their higher ups there. What are the orders for us? What orders they would have given? They would have said, come back. The order should have been, it's a hostile area. You ask for a safe harbor in any of the countries. They could have gone and stayed in Sri Lankan waters and be in their harbor, in their port. Then they wouldn't have been bombarded. But they are going, when the naval ships move, they move.
Fair point.
So it is their responsibility. India.
Fair point. Fair point. General Meston, you're saying, did the Iranian ship seek India's help for protection, for safe harbor? So far, government sources are saying that no help was sought. Did they seek the Sri Lankan help? So far, we are not hearing from the Sri Lankans, but we do know there's a second Iranian naval vessel, and that has sought some help from the Sri Lankans as we speak, because of course there's a danger of them being torpedoed as well. So Brijesh Kalappa, that's a fair point. Had the Iranians sought help from us and sought safe harbor, and had we said no, then we are responsible, morally responsible. But they haven't sought any help. They are in international waters. Why pressurize the government to speak on a war which is not our war? In any case, we are dealing with a madman like Trump. You simply don't know how he'll react. Why should you get into someone else's mess? Brijesh Kalappa.
No, first thing is, Shreya, I think we have had madmen in the United States earlier also. There was a 7th Fleet which was directed at India during the 1971 war, and it's all about leadership. Now, this is not really about moral responsibility. I'm not saying that we should have sent our ships, offered cover fire to the Iranian ship which is going there. Nobody is saying that. It's not the case with the Indian National Congress that we could have gotten into this war head along. That is not at all the point. Point is that this is a humanitarian issue, right? And somebody said that this is a war. Where has the war been declared? This is about a regime change. Nobody said that there's a war.
But why are you dragging the Prime Minister in?
When there is a regime change.
Why are you dragging the Prime Minister in and saying he's a coward? Aaj lamba chauda press conference karke coward bola. Kyun bhai? You're calling him a Vishwa Chela. Why? He's just trying to protect India's interests,
see,
right?
I think as far as the Prime Minister is as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, Prime Minister claimed to have a 56-inch chest. The least he should show United States the mirror that this is what is happening. And he's the one who said that we are a country of 125 crore people. Yeah, hum pressure create karna jante hai ji. He's the one who said that. Where is the pressure he's creating? He's the one who's wilting under pressure. I think.
No, I don't understand हम किस पे pressure create करें और क्यों हम pressure create करें. Yes, should we offer some condolences to the 150 Iranian soldiers who have died? Yes, we should. I think that's the least we can do. But to call the Prime Minister Vishwa Chela, saying India has become a proxy and he's a proxy of the Israelis, etc., that's a bit too much. Anyhow, yes, please go ahead. Sanju, you wanted to say something.
Thank you, Shreya. Let me just say one thing. There are people who are fit to be in politics and fit to be in statecraft. Rahul Gandhi is unfit to be in politics. He's completely unfit for statecraft. And let me say one thing very, very clearly. Be it Emmanuel Macron, who praised the digital revolution under Narendra
That's the
Modi,
problem.
be it President of
When you
Finland,
have a Prime
Alexander
Minister
Stubb,
who
who
says
says India's rise is an
white
economic
flag at every
miracle.
point,
The world
I think
cannot
there's
have
no
enough of India.
issue that
Shreya, I
Rahul
did not
Gandhi
heckle, I
has
need
to
my
be
time.
ballistic.
एक
You
minute,
expect me to keep quiet.
Brijesh Kalappa.
This is unfair. Shut
Brijesh
up.
Kalappa, just give Sanju 20 seconds and I'll give you 20 seconds as the last word. Ha, Sanju, go ahead.
No, not 20 seconds. He ranted against Narendra Modi. I need my 1 minute. Please stop monkey balancing all the time, Shreya Dhoundial. Let me finish
No,
now
my
without your
job,
interruptions.
my job is to host a balanced show, Sanju. You cannot hold
Can
that
I
against
finish?
me. It's the job of
Can I
every
finish?
journalist to hold, to conduct a discussion in an impartial manner. I'm giving you 20 seconds. I'll give him 20 seconds. If you call it monkey balancing, it's okay with me. Go ahead. 20 seconds to you, 20 seconds to him.
Shreya, your problem is that the moment I start speaking, you interject my chain of thoughts. I am under no compulsion to come on your show. If you can't handle what the BJP has to say, don't invite us. And I'm telling you now, don't interject me for the next 30 seconds. And Congress बोलती है Prime Minister Narendra Modi is compromised. राहुल गांधी को शर्म आती है या नहीं? बदतमीज इंसान compromise उसे कहते हैं. When after the Mumbai 26/11 terror attack, the Congress party refused to avenge. More than 200 people were killed. Compromise उसे कहते हैं. When after the Bhopal gas tragedy, Rajiv Gandhi allowed Warren Anderson a free pass. Compromise उसे कहते हैं. When without a constitutional position,
Okay.
Sonia
ठीक
Gandhi
है.
signed
I
a
think you had your say.
with
Brijesh, I'll
CPP
give you 20 seconds and we'll wrap
into
this.
Yeah, see, Shreya, as far as Mr. Modi is concerned, he's shown what his mettle is. You know, there were these Italian sailors whom Mr. Narendra Modi very surreptitiously allowed to go back. They were responsible for the killing of Keralites in Kerala, right? And he very surreptitiously allowed them to go. So we all know what kind of compulsions he has. And the kind of compulsions that he is facing, thanks to the Epstein files, is clearly what is leading him along the way. That's the reason he's not able to open his mouth. That's the reason he went to Israel at a most inopportune moment. And that's the reason he's behaving in this very cowardly, surrenderous fashion that he's doing
No,
today.
you know,
I think
you guys keep saying Epstein files, Epstein files, Epstein files. हर चीज में थोड़ी ना आप Epstein files लेके आ सकते हैं. Mr. Kalappa, has the Prime Minister been named in the Epstein files? If yes, please show us the proof. If not, please stop throwing Epstein files on everything. Chalo, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much for joining us. I think we've heard all points of view. Sanju Verma, BJP spokesperson, thank you very much. Major General Meston, thank you for joining us with your view. Brijesh Kalappa, thank you very much. And General Moore, good to have you on the show as well. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a quick break. There's more on the other side. Do stay with us.